but pork steaks, pork premium, pork ribeye steaks. This is one of my favorite items from the Rastelli line. Super high in protein, super high in flavor, but not high in carbohydrates. This is something so easy and so simple and so full of good flavor.
It is, David, and we always talk about my favorite steak, which is the beef ribeye steak. Well, when it comes to pork, this is my very, very favorite, the pork ribeye steak. Look at how juicy, look at how lean this is, but it's the ribeye. It's the prime rib of pork.
And where you see juice, you see flavor.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh, these are so good.
And you don't have to cook these at 165, right? We remember how our grandmothers' pork chops used to taste, David. This is a pork ribeye steak. So at 145, this is what you get. You get all that beautiful juice, all that beautiful moisture, but this is what I love best about it. I used a knife to cut that. I don't really need a knife because, watch, this is just a fork. I'm gonna go right through the center of that with a fork. And that's what makes this very special.
This is one of my most favorites. I'm never without these in my freezer, which is why auto delivery every 90 days for 1 year, Mr. Rastelli, is so very popular. And I will tell you, now, the way I like to cook these, I don't tend to put a lot of salt and pepper on them because they're already so flavorful. I tend to dip them in egg and then coat them with Parmesan cheese. Put a little avocado oil in my skillet and I brown it on top of the stove.
Wonderful.
Then I finish it in about a 400-degree oven until they're 145 internal temp. Get them out of the oven, and it's a wonderful, tasty, low-carb treat that is coated with Parmesan cheese, which is a slow-absorbing cheese.
Yes, it is.
This is dynamic, and they're individually wrapped, are they not?
They are. Each one is individually vacuum packaged, but it's all about where we start, David, which is most important.
Yeah, they all come individually packaged, so you're going to take them out one at a time if you need them, and we'll talk about cooking methods in a moment. But Mr. Rastelli, for how many years now, sir?
48 years.
48 years
Yes.
has been a butcher. He's been our personal butcher here at QVC, and you love to go to the butcher block.
I do, and the reason for it, because my job as a butcher is to make sure it's aged properly, it's cut properly for you, but really the key with it is what's being done on the farm. These come from the eastern part of Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania Dutch country, and what they are is the prime rib of pork. You'll see all this beautiful marbling. You see we have trimmed this completely now, different than beef.
So good.
We don't ever want to age this product, so this product comes right off the farm, right to us. Our expert butchers trim every ounce of fat off it, and then we cut them into these beautiful steaks. Now, I call it a steak, David, because if I call it a pork chop, you know, it'll hurt its feelings.
It'll hurt its feelings.
Right, but I want you to look at what's the inside. That marbling is what I look at as a butcher, right? That's meat candy. That's why when you cook this pork ribeye steak, whether it's as a steak, as a pork chop, as a kebab, you're going to get tenderness. You're going to get
on the grill, in a skillet, in the oven, in the air fryer, however you choose to do it. And remember that marbling is going to render down.
That's
and as
right.
it renders down, it bathes the food in all that flavor. Now, we only have 2,400 sets to go around. And auto delivery is already very popular. How many are already gone, Sean? Already 250 sets are gone. I have 2,400 left. These are going to go very, very fast. And if you're thinking about picking this up and it's your first time with it, okay, I understand maybe you want to do a one-time shipment. But if you're a long-time fan of these as I am, then go ahead and do auto delivery every 90 days for 1 year. This is remarkable. And these cook best from thawed. Mr. Rastelli, what's your best advice for thawing these
So
out?
for thawing, just take that package that it's in under cold water, and it's only going to take you about 10 minutes. And in 10 minutes, you're going to have a pork steak that's ready to be cooked. Now, you can cook it lots of different ways, and I'll show you a few here, David, that are kind of my favorites.
And I'm going to go in for a little taste.
There you go. You can do that.
Uh-huh. Hello, old friend. They're so tender. They're so full of flavor.
They are. And you don't even need a knife to do this with. That's what I think is so
put your knives
amazing.
away because you're not going to need them.
But if you'd like to just do it like a pork chop, if you'd like to put this in that package and shake something on there, you can make it just as a pork chop, and it will be
Big fan of that, by the way.
just as tender. Look at this. Look how thick this is. And I'm going right through the center of this.
With a fork.
With a fork. And look at this beautiful pork steak
they're so
inside.
good. Cook these in the air fryer, put them in the oven.
That's how simple.
Mr. Rastelli, now 400 of these are gone.
Oh, my goodness.
We're down to 2,200. Rachel, are you hungry?
Yes.
Come over here, darling. We got a clean fork for you.
We do have a clean fork right here for Rachel. But David, here's this one happens to be
I have
my
a clean fork
favorite.
for you, darling.
Thank you. I had to find you. I'm still learning where the sets
We're
are. I was
very
around.
informal around here. So, Mr. Rastelli, Rachel,
Hi,
Rachel,
Rachel,
Mr.
great to
Rastelli.
see you. I'm going to cut a piece of that with a fork. Look at this.
Oh my
So you don't have to chew a
gosh.
whole lot, right?
Thank you, thank you.
Now,
Is there anything on this?
Nothing.
This is the way they come.
Okay.
All right, tell me what you're experiencing.
Moist, juicy. I'm really surprised there's nothing on it.
What about flavor?
So flavorful.
And there's no seasoning on this.
No, it's just the pork that comes from the Pennsylvania Dutch country is very, very
It's
special.
amazing.
If
I'm
you
going
want
back
another
in.
piece,
I'm
please.
gonna say,
Don't be shy. Don't be shy, because we're not shy in this show. How about that?
Oh my
Now, if
goodness.
you'd like to take another piece for the road, you certainly are welcome. There's
I
another
would love
piece
it.
right there.
There
yeah.
you
I
go.
got it. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
And take your
Thank you.
pork with you, my darling.
I will gladly.
Oh, and
it's
anytime
amazing.
you're hungry, you come and see us.
I'll be all the time.
All right, perfect. Now we have fewer than 2,000 to go around. Now, if you want to do a pork parmesan, these are super, super versatile. And look, that's one steak.
That's one steak. And David, all I did was pound that out because remember, they're so soft, they're going to pound really easy. And anything you have done with veal or you have done with chicken, you can do with this pork. And I will tell you that the flavor that you're going to get out of that is going to be so much more vibrant and full of flavor versus any chicken or any beef at all.
Now, you know, because I've told you this story, my mom's birthday falls right around Easter time. So if my brother and sister and I all send flowers at Easter on her birthday, her house starts to look like a greenhouse.
Yes.
So I sent her these pork steaks one year for her birthday, and she called me and she said, "Oh, honey, I'm so excited about these because Mom can't do a lot of beef." And it just doesn't agree with her. And so she loves the pork. And here you've pounded one and you breaded it.
Again, one. And people say, that's one. Yeah, that's one piece.
That's one piece.
Remember, they're 6 ounces, so they're really big, but there is no fat. We've completely trimmed this. That's one piece. We've pounded out. Of course, we've floured. We did a little bit of egg wash on there.
And you're going to put a little
we're
brown
gonna
gravy
put a
on there?
little bit of
The way
brown-
God intended?
Just the way it's supposed to be, because you can. And this is going to be so incredibly tender for you. You're going to be able to cut right through it with a fork.
Look. Oh, my word. That is, growing up, every Wednesday night was pork chop night at my house.
Yes.
And Mom would cook hominy in the skillet because hominy by itself has no flavor. It comes from the corn family. So she'd cook it in the rendered pork fat. And it would always have greater flavor that way. So if you want to put these in a skillet, you want to make kebabs out of them, you want to put them in your air fryer, any way you want to prepare them, they're easy, easy peasy. And if you forget to thaw them out, put them in a bowl of cold water for about 10 minutes. And they're going to thaw out as pretty as you please. Now, I will tell you, we have how many left now, Sean? I have 1,700 left. And we're going to put the auto delivery information on the screen because people who have bought this in the past are lining up for auto delivery.
Yes, they are. And they're smart because this is so versatile. And Dave,